Thought I'd make a quick little video here. I sold my 2006 Bad Boy mower and updated it this spring with my this ZT Elite. On my old Bad Boy, I had connection wired up for my sprayer to tow behind the Bad Boy and spray my driveway and whatnot, get the weeds out of it and a couple other things. But so I had to wire up something for the new one. This sprayer, it's just a cheap Harbor Freight hand cart that I crudely welded up some brackets to and some spray nozzles on it and whatnot. Works pretty good. And what I used was just some old trailer harnesses for the power for it, but I'm going to order some like battery tender connectors and wire this up better. So I was expecting to have to wire up find a switched ignition source and splice into it on underneath this console here that's held on with 4/4 inch Allen screws and easy to get off. There's quite a bit of room underneath there for relays and whatnot if you wanted to add them, but I was kind of in a little bit of a surprise here. I took the plate off here to see if I couldn't find a keyed lead to splice my relay into, because I didn't want to run it strict to the battery. I wanted to be able to switch it on and off, of course. And underneath here, if I can do this one-handed, let me try to shine some light in there. You can see the main wiring harness here as it comes through the access there. It goes out to the battery and engine and stuff. Oh, let me back up. And I just happened to take a glance down and zip tied into that bundle down there. Let's see if I get a little bit better view. But down in that bundle right there, see that one zip tie? Included in that, I saw two leads that already had quick disconnects on it, and they were this brown wire and this yellow wire. The yellow wire had a piece of heavy duty shrink wrap glued to it that you gotta cut off because they probably didn't want it shorting out on the frame. But this is the ground, and there is a switched ignition lead already there. So it's got some extra wire to it, so pulled it out of the harness down there, and so there is a keyed ignition switch right there. I didn't want to hook up my sprayer directly to that because I didn't know how many amperage they designed that wire to. It's, I don't know what gauge it is, maybe 14, probably about 16. But anyhow, what I did was, and I've got this rocker switch on, I saw this little cutout that they've already got in there for the ZT Elite. And I thought, well shoot, I bought a bunch of these switches a long time ago. Thought that should fit right in there. It looked, eyeballing it up, it looked like it would fit, but it don't fit. So what I did was made up, I knew I had a bunch of these lighted rockers here. They're not real great, but I made up a couple quick 3D printed bezels for it. This one fits in there. that accepts this switch. And I also made up another one last night with a little bit of a, see if I can't see that, a little bit of a lip on it to hold it in once you get it in the cutout here. So the first one will fit in. Oop, not that one. This one doesn't have, this is my first design. I thought I could fit it in there, and it's a little loose. I thought I could put a little bit of silicone sealant in there just to hold it in there. It doesn't have to be in there super well. But I designed that one. I'll put a link to it up on Thingiverse if you want to look at it. I'll put the link in the description here. But, so, this other yellow wire here is the switched output out of the switch. So you got your bad boy 12 volt ignition switched lead coming up here, and then from the output of that switch, and a lot of this wire is just temporary to see if it's going to be working and whatnot. I got to put new connectors on it anyways. I also want to put a couple of these small little lights that I got off of on Amazon up underneath the front end eventually. But what I did is used this lead out of the switch for a trigger for a new relay I put in there, and then ran a fused lead up to the 12 volt on the battery. The output, I say this is just temporary, the output of the relay, I've got a lead running back up to this assembly bracket that they put on these Kohler engines when they're assembling them, lower them down by a winch or something. But say this is temporary, I'm just using my old trailer hitch connector, which will be updated shortly, I hope. And the ground, of course, I just put a temporarily a 1/4 inch bolt up there. So right now I've just temporarily got this switch on there. What is it with the key? And let me lay the phone down just for the camera down just for a second. And I will early I've got one of these little lights on here that I'll plug in. And lay this down. Alright. And in the shadows here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see any of this. I got that running up there temporarily. Let me turn the ignition on, and it should work. Oh, no, it won't work because I pulled the fuse out of the lead on the battery because I didn't want to. Okay, I just put a 7.5 amp fuse in there for now. Should be able to handle that sprayer and lights if I put those on. But turn that on. Got the ignition on, so this should be hot now. Turn that on. There's my light. And by putting this relay on, I don't have to worry about overloading the stock switched lead from Bad Boy. I'm not sure what they rated it at, so But anyhow, that's my wiring so far on the bad boy. Okay, got the switch in there. It does fit a little loose. I've got the one with the little beveled things that stick out on the bottom, so I'll try to hold it in. It's not going to come out, at least right away. It's made with PLA, and with my experience, PLA will shrink over time. So I'm going to have to replace that sometime. No, it takes about 40 minutes to print. Half hour, something like that. She works. Notice I got 10.5 hours on her. I don't know if you can see it, but that Kohler is already doing some seepage. Great. Take care. Bye.